The Rays come to Fenway Park as the standings certainly get tight. Not only the Yankees and Red Sox, but the Rays. They're 4 games back of the Red Sox in the wild card. These two teams, the Red Sox and Rays, know each other well and play game 1 of a 4-game series that starts right now. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, it's that time of year again for the Red Sox and the Rays. Nobody expected the Rays really to be in this position, but here they are, and the Red Sox are just 1-6 in their last 7 games. It's crunch time. Terry Francona knows that.
The thing I think I worry about more than anything, or I don't want to worry about, is, okay, we are where we are. Regardless of how we got here, why drag your tail because you didn't play good for a week? I mean, that's going to take energy away that we really don't need. We got our hands full anyway. They're good. We're a little beat up. Let's go play. That's what we like to do anyway. And we're actually have played ourselves through the course of a long season into where we're up 4, not down 4. So, you know, and I know that Tampa's playing well. But I just think how you view it can put more stress than's needed.
We welcome in Jerry Remy, and Jerry, certainly the Red Sox got to get the offense going. Easy said than done against this Tampa Bay team.
Well, Tampa Bay pitching has been very, very tough on the Red Sox all season long. They've kept them well below their average in many, many categories. As we take a look at this graphic, the runs per game only 3. The Red Sox averaging over 5 runs per game against all the other ball clubs. Hits per game 5.9. Red Sox average 10 hits per game against every other team. Only a couple of stolen bases because there haven't been many guys on. And opponents average 177 on the season. The last 5 games they played against the Rays, the Red Sox have only scored 10 runs in those games. You're not going to win many like that. So hopefully with Gonzalez and Ortiz back in the lineup tonight and a full complement of their offense, they'll be able to do more damage against this Tampa Bay very good pitching staff.
Red Sox turn to their rookie pitcher, Kyle Weiland, who makes his 4th Major League start. He's 0-1. We're back with more from Fenway right after this.
You know, they're a hard team to play because they're so aggressive, and if you give them an opening, you know, they make you pay for it.
Well, they are a very hard team to play, this Tampa Bay Rays team coming into this 4-game series from Fenway Park. Well, the Rays have very good pitching this year, and it really starts with their starters. They've been terrific. That's not been the problem. The offense, perhaps. The defense has been extremely good, but the starters, and they've got it lined up very well here as far as the starters go in their pitching rotation. The Rays starters have posted 62 of the team's 82 wins this season and rank in the top 5 in Major League Baseball in nearly every category. They pitched more innings than anyone in baseball. 21 and a third innings in this series. They will reach 1,000 for the season. They have the third best ERA in baseball behind only the Phillies and Giants, and have the second best opponent average, trailing only San Francisco. Against Boston, Rays starters have lasted at least 8 innings in 5 of their last 6 games. Well, the manager of this Tampa Bay Rays team is Joe Madden. Heidi Watney had the chance to catch up with Joe.
Well, Don, the Rays were 9 games out of postseason contention on September 3rd. No team in MLB history has been able to overcome that deficit. But since then, after a weekend sweep of the Red Sox, the Rays have cut that lead to 4, and their manager, Joe Madden, believes they can eclipse the Red Sox.
My thoughts are it's possible. It's possible. We lost 2 tough games in Baltimore that did not help at all, but it's about tonight anyway, and we weren't going to win all of our games the rest of the way either. So it's a head-to-head matchup right now. Obviously, these games count even a little bit more. It'd be nice to hopefully take 3 out of 4. We're almost in a position we have to do something like that. But even having said that, for me, it's about 1 game at a time. I want us to win tonight's game, and then we'll think about tomorrow's game then. But, yes, it's possible.
Now, Madden also said, obviously, the team knows how critical this series is, but they are still loose. He said they have to stay relaxed and have fun. He doesn't want any additional scouting reports or guys poring over notes about what Kyle Weiland has. He wants them to just go out and play the same way they have all season. He said he isn't giving any speeches in the clubhouse, but he did make sure to turn the music up so they're having fun. Don?
The Rays rookie Jeremy Hellickson is on the mound, 12-10 with a 2.96 earned run average. First pitch from Fenway is coming your way next. Kia, AT&T, New England Subaru dealers, Dunkin' Donuts, Mazda, and by Southwest Airlines. Hey, good evening once again, everybody. The Red Sox and Rays are ready to go. The Red Sox have taken the field tonight, so let's check out the visiting Tampa Bay Rays starting 9. Desmond Jennings is in left field. He leads it off with B.J. Upton in center. Evan Longoria at third base. Bats third with Ben Zobrist at second base. Johnny Damon is the DH, batting fifth with Matt Joyce in right. Casey Kochman at first base had a very good year. He bats seventh. John Jaso does the catching eighth. And Reed Brignac is at shortstop. He bats ninth. The starting pitcher is brought to you by McDonald's, and it's Kyle Weiland as he makes start number 4 of the year, appearance number 5. He is 0-1 with a 6.75 earned run average. In 16 innings, he's given up 21 hits. Opponent sitting at .323 against Weiland. He has made starts 2 against Baltimore and last time out against Tampa Bay. 4 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs against this Rays team first time around.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. They are third in the American League. Kevin Youkilis will be at third base. Marco Scudero, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. And Adrian Gonzalez, the first baseman, left to right. Kyle Crawford, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Josh Reddick. And Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching for Weiland.
Umpiring crew tonight, Bob Davidson has the play calling the balls and strikes. Hunter Wintelstead at first base. Brian Knight at second base. And Jerry Lane is the crew chief. He's at third. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
First pitch from Kyle Weiland. This is for ball 1, and we are underway. Certainly a hint of fall in the air here tonight, and it is very dark already as this game starts tonight from Fenway Park. It's a swing and a miss for Desmond Jennings, and it's 1-1.
Pretty good rain shower came through here this afternoon. Didn't last very long, but certainly cooled things off.
66 degrees, a breeze from left to right currently, and a chance for more showers as the night progresses. Slowly hit down third baseline. Youkilis has got it on the run. The throw in time. Nice play by Youkilis with a speedy Jennings retired.
Now Youkilis deciding to play that while it was in fair territory instead of letting it go and hope that it goes foul. See, it bounced back a little bit to Youkilis' left. That convinced him it was going to stay fair, so he makes the play at first base to get the out.
So one down here in the first inning for B.J. Upton. 234 season for Upton, but the power numbers, 20 homers, 71 runs batted in for the Rays center fielder. Aggressively jumping on that first pitch. Well, the Rays had a chance to get a little closer with the Red Sox loss yesterday. They played in Baltimore last night and lost. Did not help Joe Maddon's cause here at all. Had a chance to come into this series just 3 games back of the Red Sox, but as it stands now, the 4-game pad remains into this 4-game series. Joe, I got to admit, pretty surprised looking at the Tampa Bay Rays, even where they are right now, based on the amount of changes they had. They lost their entire bullpen coming into the season that they had a year ago. Those guys like Carlos Pena, and I mean, you just didn't expect them to be where they are now. Swing and a miss, and Upton, as they climb the ladder on him, strikes out, 2 down.
I agree with you, Don. It's pitching and defense. That has been the key for him all season long. Weiland goes up and out of the strike zone with a fastball to pick up his first strikeout of the night.
They were without Carl Crawford, of course. We know where he went. And a much different looking Rays team. And the Rays hanging in there with 2 outs in the first inning. Evan Longoria is the batter. That's out of the 3 spot for Joe Maddon. And takes strike 1. 239, 26 home runs, 85 runs batted in for Longoria. The average kind of jumps out at you. One of the game's best players. This is popped up. Foul ground for Adrian Gonzalez. Kyle Weiland has an 8-pitch, 1-2-3 first inning. The Red Sox are coming up. Sox starting lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury leads it off in center field with Dustin Pedroia at second base. Adrian Gonzalez at first base bats third. David Ortiz, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Kevin Youkilis at third base. Josh Reddick in right bats sixth. Carl Crawford is in left field. Jared Saltalamacchia bats eighth, doing the catching. And Marco Scudero at shortstop bats ninth. On the mound for the Rays, their rookie Jeremy Hellickson. Terrific year. His 27th appearance of the year, the nifty 2.96 earned run average. He is 12-10. Much better record if he had much more run support. 170 in the third inning so far this season. Had a no decision against the Red Sox on Saturday. 6 innings, 3 runs in St. Pete. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off in the Boston first inning. It's ball one outside to Jacoby. 320 average coming in, 27 home runs, 94 runs batted in. That'll miss, and it's 2-2 to Ellsbury.
One thing we know about Hellickson, when we've seen him a couple of times, he's got a very, very good changeup, and he's not afraid to use it.
A little light mist falling here at Fenway Park. This game starts here in the bottom of the first inning. 2-0 pitch. It's fouled back, and it's 2-1. 103 the temperature gauge. Jacoby Ellsbury coming in 8 for 18. 2 homers, 4 RBIs in his last 4 games. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
That's the changeup I was talking about right there. He's not afraid to throw when he's down in the count, ahead in the count. You'll see a lot of those tonight from Hellickson.
He's 24 years of age, making his 27th start. He's got Ellsbury, Pedroia, and Gonzalez to deal with here in the first inning. 2-2 is to center field. B.J. Upton back a few steps, puts it away for out number 1.
The Tampa Bay defense, they're first in the American League. Only 67 errors on the season. Evan Longoria at third base. Reed Brignac, the shortstop. Ben Zobrist at second, and Casey Kochman, the first baseman. Left to right, Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce. And John Jaso doing the catching for Hellickson.
1 down in the first inning for Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia coming in, hitting at an even 300 now. Along with 20 home runs, 82 runs batted in. He was 5 for 9 in the series against the Jays. A very good brief 2-game series against Toronto. And seemed to get back on track after a very tough trip. Saw him go 3 for 31. Included the visit to Tampa Bay. On the ground foul towards the end of the Rays dugout. Rain starting to fall a little harder now. Way in low, and it is 3-1. Hellickson, the only rookie starter to beat the Red Sox at Fenway Park this season. Leads all Major League rookies in ERA with a 2.96. This one is fouled back above us. And it's a full count now, 3-2. In the 10 losses that he's had, we talked about the run support or the lack thereof. The Rays have scored a total of 9 runs in his 10 losses. Gives you an idea why he is 12-10, but has such a low earned run average of 2.96. And it really has been the Achilles heel for Joe Madden, the offense. So this one is set foul off to the left out of play. Rays have had plenty of pitching and outstanding defense. Just not enough runs and not enough offense. Great pitching like James Shields.
David Price, well, part of this rotation for the Rays. We will see Shields and Beckett match up here tomorrow. Neiman and Lester on Saturday, Price and Wakefield on Sunday. Three-two pitch. Pedroia on a broken bat pop-up. It sends Brainiac out. In comes the left fielder Jennings. And there's 2 down in the first inning.
Has that change up again, this time toward the end of the bat of Dustin Pedroia. Broken bat, but it hangs up there long enough for Desmond Jennings to come in from left field and make the play. You see the off-balance swing on the off-speed pitch by Dustin Pedroia.
2 down. Adrian Gonzalez coming up as part of our key matchup. Brought to you by New England Honda dealers. Adrian 2 for 6 against Hellickson with a triple and a home run. He's knocked in 3 runs and on base 5 of 9 times. And good to see Adrian back in the lineup. Left the game yesterday with tight calf after the home run that he hit here yesterday. Back in the lineup tonight, hitting at .340. Home run yesterday. He is 26th of the year. 110 runs batted in for Adrian Gonzalez. This one slapped foul. Oddly, it was his first home run yesterday since July at Fenway Park. It's been a while in between home runs. He's into the shift for him. Gonzalez takes the strike, and it's 1-2. Breaking ball that time from Hellickson.
Keeping the breaking ball away, everything away from Gonzalez so far in this at bat.
In the dirt, and it is 2-2. Did he go? No. Check with Cherry Lane.
Did not go. Good call by Jerry Lane down at third base.
Gonzalez lifting it down the left field line. It'll hook foul and into the seats. Leads the majors in average to start the night, hitting at .340. Leads the majors in hits, total bases. And against the Jays was 3 for 7, the home run that he had yesterday. Left the game, to be technical about it, in the 7th inning yesterday. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, full count. Gonzalez hits a fly ball to center field. B.J. Upton looking up into the raindrops. Will make the catch. That ends the first inning. 3 flyouts, but a 1-2-3 first. Done with 1, no score. is a proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation, helping to address health needs in our communities. Still raining here at Fenway Park, lightly at the moment. As we head into the second inning, Ben Zobrist leading it off and taking ball one. Zobrist, the second baseman for the Rays, at .270, 15 home runs, 82 runs batted in. Kyle Weiland had a 1-2-3 first inning on 8 pitches. One is sliced foul, and it is 1-2.
Now Zobrist has faced Weiland 3 times in his career and only 1 hit, 1 for 3. Not much of a track record for any of these Rays against Weiland. Just had 1 outing against Tampa Bay.
Outside, it evens at 2-2. Weiland, who made his major league debut on July the 10th against the Baltimore Orioles, a no decision. And then on the 19th, he would pitch again against Baltimore. Took the loss in that outing. 6 innings, 3 runs. Then went a long time as the Red Sox did not use him as a starter again until the 10th of September. And in that outing against these Rays, he went 4 innings, giving up 3 runs. And of course, that game ended up in extra innings. Saltalamacchia and Ellsbury each homering. The Rays eventually won the game in walk-off fashion, as Weiland not part of the decision. So just 1 decision. He is 0-1 coming into tonight's action, into his 4th major league start. Three-two pitch. On the ground to first base. Adrian's got it. He'll take it to the bag for out number 1. In the next round of our newest reality competition series, AT&T Schooled, Nesson's College Face-Off. Providence and UConn go head-to-head. Find out who takes this battle of wits tonight after our Red Sox coverage, and visit Nesson.com Schooled for more.
That's a real battle of wits up here in the booth, isn't it?
Every night. It's a... We'll have to watch the show together and have our own competition.
Oh, my God.
I'll take one side, I'll take the other. We'll see if we can. Pitch misses to Johnny Damon. Rain's coming down pretty good now as Johnny settles in on the left side. DH for the Rays. That's what he's been doing primarily this year. He lays off and takes ball 2.
Bit of a slump for Johnny Damon. 7 for his last 40. Had a milestone on Tuesday night at Baltimore. Stole his 400th career base. It's a fly ball to right pretty well. Reddick going back onto the track, and he'll make the catch. Swung around at the right time to make the grab after he got back onto the dirt of the track. 2 down. Yeah, it looked like it had a chance when it left the bat of Johnny Damon, but Josh Reddick back with it to the warning track and almost to the wall to make the catch. Reddick was still a couple of feet before he got to that right field wall in front of the bullpen.
2 down here in the second inning, and it brings up Matt Joyce. 280 with 18 homers, 66 runs batted in. And takes ball 1 outside. Last 20 games, he's hit at a .317 clip. Fouls it off to the left and evens the count at 1-1. Joyce, 27-year-old, making his first All-Star team. He was selected by the players in the player vote. He's 1 for 2 in the All-Star game and got a 9th inning single off Pirates closer Joe Hanrahan in the All-Star game. Kyle Weiland retiring the first 5 Rays that he's faced in the game. So he got 2 outs in the second inning. 2-1 to Joyce. That's fouled back as well, and it's 2-2. Island, the Red Sox 5th pick, 108th overall in the 3rd round of the 2008 first-year player draft. Spent 1 season at each minor league level. 08 he was in Lowell, 09 Salem, AA Portland in 2010, and this year was in Pawtucket until the call up here to the Red Sox, and again tonight marks his 4th start, 5th appearance overall in the major leagues. Chop to first, and Gonzalez has got it again. Kyle Weiland has retired the first 6 Rays he's faced tonight. Inning and a half done from the Fens, no score. Seat at Gillette Stadium and TD Garden. Visit aceticket.com right now to get great seats to upcoming Bruins and Patriots games. Well, a Milliken family of Concord, New Hampshire here at the ballpark tonight at Fenway.
295 years of Red Sox fans.
Well, Red Sox and Rays play into the bottom of the 2nd inning without a score tonight. Playing in the rain at the moment and have been really from the beginning of this game. Lightly falling. David Ortiz, Kevin Youkilis, Josh Reddick in the inning. Good to see David Ortiz back for the Red Sox. And back spasms keep him out of the last 2 games. There's a liner down the right field line. Foul.
Line shot by David Ortiz, taking a track toward that pesky pole, but goes into foul territory.
He's got 39 home runs in his career against Tampa Bay. He's got 29 home runs this season. .313 average, 92 runs batted in. He'll take the 0-1 outside. Lined over the shift and into right. Matt Joyce over to play it on the track. Ortiz will pull it up with a long single. And Dave with some pretty good swings there. The back's got to be feeling all right. He's at first, the leadoff single.
Yeah, that's certainly a good sign for the Red Sox. Solid contact twice by Ortiz. He cleans out that inside fastball that time and puts it over the head of the shift. Ben Zobrist at second base. Played in the corner by Matt Joyce and keeps Ortiz to the single at first base.
So lead runner on here in the second inning is Kevin Youkilis is coming up. 259, 17 homers, 80 runs batted in for Youkilis. In there for strike one. No doubt the Red Sox are a banged up bunch, and Youkilis is on that list. Playing through pain. The hip has been a problem. The sports hernia an issue, one that he'll have to deal with at the end of the year. But in the meantime, he continues to play on a daily basis. The one pitch is in the dirt. It's 1-1. Heidi Watney will get us caught up on the rest of the injury updates. As Youkilis bats with Ortiz at first and nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. That's on the corner, and it's 1-2.
Now Youkilis didn't like the call, thought the ball was outside. Take a look at the Amica pitch zone. Borderline pitch.
Youkilis in his return to the Red Sox lineup was 1 for 6 in the Jays series, playing in both games. That'll bounce in. It kicks off Jaso, and Ortiz will scamper to second base. Wild pitch uncorked by Hellickson.
Yeah, Hellickson trying to snap off the breaking ball that time. Bounces it. It gets by Jaso. Kicks off to his left. You can see Youkilis telling Ortiz to go. And Big Papi makes it in a scoring position at second base.
Two missing, down and in, and it's a full count now to Youkilis. Red Sox in the last series against the Rays were just 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position. The first opportunity of the night, and Youkilis is down on strikes. Let's send it down to Heidi.
Well, Don, I do have some updates on some injured Red Sox players. Clay Buchholz threw off a mound for the first time in his rehab today. He threw a short bullpen session and will have a full bullpen on Saturday. So far, everything has gone great for Buchholz, who told me he is still targeting pitching in a game in the last series of the regular season against Baltimore. Eric Bedard played catch again today. No real timetable for him to return, but Terry Francona has said once his lat feels better, he won't need much time before he can pitch in a game. And Jed Lowry is doing better after having a cortisone injection in his shoulder on Tuesday. Francona said he may be available to pinch hit tonight. Don?
All right, Heidi, thank you very much. Seems like the injuries have been growing on a daily basis for the Red Sox, but it does appear they have their regular lineup together for tonight. They are banged up, but trying to get it done here against the Rays as Josh Reddick bats out of the number 6 spot in the Red Sox order and sends one on the ground to third base. Longoria looks Ortiz back, fires across for out number 2. And the Red Sox are so far 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position in the game.
And both those outs coming on the changeup. It was a changeup to strike out Kevin Youkilis. It was a changeup to Josh Reddick for the ground ball to third base. That infield a little bit wet, so infielders have to be careful when they pick up that baseball and make those throws across the diamond.
2 down in the second inning. Carl Crawford, the batter, he hits at .251. 11 homers and 53 runs batted in. The former Tampa Bay Ray. As he takes strike 1. Crawford was 2 for 8 in the series against the Blue Jays. But a quiet day yesterday, going 0 for 4 in the series finale, and the Red Sox losing the last game of the series. See, arms out of the way and takes ball 1. Crawford 3 for 9 in his career against Jeremy Hellickson. Time called. They're going to call a balk is what they're going to do. And Ortiz will be given third base.
Now let's see what Hellickson does. Is it a question of not stopping? Coming to a complete stop? Oh, yeah, a little flinch right there. You could see the flinch toward home plate, the hesitation, then the pitch. And that, of course, is a balk.
So 2 down. David Ortiz 90 feet away. Carl Crawford, the count of 1-1. And a swing and a miss. 1-2. Pitch down and in.
Breaking ball again here from Hellickson. Pretty good snap on it. As it breaks down and out of the strike zone, Crawford chases it.
Foul back into the seats in the grandstand. Ricochets around. Still 1-2.
Tried the exact same pitch that time, except it stayed a little bit higher, and Crawford was able to make contact on it. Contact, but foul.
Crawford will pop it up. Foul ground. Longoria going as far as he can, and he will not have a play. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox. Cannot be retransmitted or reproduced in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. David Ortiz singled. Took second on a wild pitch, got to third on a balk. Euclid striking out, Reddick grounding out, and there's a 1-2 that is just outside. 2-2. Rain falling hard again here at Fenway Park. It's Jared Saltalamacchia waits on deck here in the Boston second inning. Inside seemed to surprise Carl. Late reaction. Full count.
A change up away. Fastball back inside. Backs up Crawford. Trying to hit the inside corner with that fastball.
Third full count in 7 batters for Hellickson. 3-2 to Carl Crawford. Crawford will pop it up in the infield. From second comes Zobrist. He will backpedal and make the catch that ends the inning. So the Red Sox strand Ortiz. We're through 2 from rainy Fenway without a score. by Eastern Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox television network. Commitment, compassion, and love of the game. Find out what we're made of at easternbank.com. Wet, rainy night at Fenway Park. It seems to be getting worse. These fans are all bundled up and trying to stay dry. It's to the third inning we go, and Casey Kochman, who leads it off for the Rays. It's been a terrific first 2 innings for Kyle Weiland. Retired the first 6 Tampa Bay Rays he has faced on 24 pitches. Here's pitch number 26. And it's chopped towards second. Pedroia in the backhand against the grain. Off balance. Gets it there. Nice play by Dustin Pedroia for out number 1.
So tough to make that throw when all your momentum's going towards shortstop. You have to somehow try to square your way up to first base and make a throw. Pedroia does that perfectly. Spins around. Accurate throw to Gonzalez at first base to get the out.
One down here in the third inning. John Jaso is coming up. 225 hitter is Jaso. 5 homers. 27 runs batted in. Up and away on a fastball. Jaso hitting at 235 since coming off the DL in mid-August. Came back on August the 19th. Then a 3-run home run off John Lackey when the Red Sox were in Tampa Bay. 2-0 pitches in there for a strike. 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
A lot of fastballs so far in this game from Weiland. I think one changeup he's featured, a couple of breaking balls, but mostly fastballs.
Full count now to John Jaso. With Reed Brignac waiting on deck. Jaso has enjoyed friendly confines of Fenway Park and his visits here, hitting at 348. Foul ball into the seats. Well, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings where the Red Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy would donate $500 to Children's Hospital Boston. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 3-2 to Jaso. He's in the air to left. Crawford going back, looking up, and it is high off the wall. Crawford will play the carom. Jaso into second base easily with a wall ball double to left, and the first base runner of the night for the Rays, and that nearly got out of here.
Well, Jaso made the adjustment here. You can see everything away in that at bat, expecting the ball away, and gets it away and puts it right at the top of that left field wall. The one big bounce to Kyle Crawford and the 2-base hit with 1 out for John Jaso.
So 1 on, 1 out, and Reed Brignac coming up, batting out of the number 9 spot for the Rays. Brignac at 200 with a home run, 14 runs batted in. Brignac coming in, riding a 6-game hitting streak. Look at the numbers during the streak for Brignac. Broken bat pop up left side as Scudero drifts into the outfield grass and puts it away for out number 2. Weiland trying to pitch his way around a 1-out double as his second out. On Saturday, January 7th, the excitement of hockey returns to Fenway Park with an outdoor men's college hockey doubleheader. Don't miss the 4-way border war between 4 state schools as Vermont battles UMass, and the University of New Hampshire will take on the University of Maine. Tickets are on sale now. Get your tickets at redsox.com/FrozenFenway. you catch the last one, Jerry? The college Frozen Four? I know you saw the NHL here. Did you happen to see?
No, I did not. I did not see any of that.
It's actually a prettier venue because of the snow. It was actually snowing during their games. So it was pretty cool.
I just saw that in the commercial.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I was reading. Well, you'll be sure to be there this year on January 7th and watch it because it's going to be great.
I think I have plans on January 7th.
Do
or
you?
Something. Yes.
Well, you can cancel them. Desmond Jennings bats with 2 outs and a runner at second. Jennings grounded out to third base in the first inning. Chops it foul to the end of the Rays dugout. Now, Jennings did not play yesterday in Baltimore. It's the first time that he's sat since being recalled on July 23rd. Started 47 games overall since he had come up, but had yesterday off. He's been struggling lately, hitting at 138 in the last 14 games. Head here 3-1 at the moment. '89 games this year, AAA Durham. 64 of them spent leading off. Hitting .275 when he led off in Durham, and he'll take the walk. First walk given up by Weiland comes with 2 outs here in the third inning. I want to remind you to visit your local Lowe's to enter for a chance to win a VIP World Series experience. Compliments of Scott's. Minnesota Lamacchi out to talk to Weiland, who gave up a 1-out double to Chaso off the wall in left field. Berniak to pop out. He walks Jennings. 2 on, 2 down. And the first threat of the game here for Tampa Bay. Here is B.J. Upton, who struck out swinging in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Eight batters in a row that Kyle Weiland has started off with a ball. Upton, broken back grounder. The bat goes through, and so does the ball. Around from second base comes Chaso. He'll score. No doubt the bat was the problem. Scooter had to get out of the way of the bat, and in the meantime, the ball trickles through into left, and it is the Rays who take a 1-0 advantage.
I don't think I have ever seen that before in an infield where the bat has actually been that big of a distraction to cause the ball to go through. There goes the bat. You can see Scudero getting out of the way of that. The ball goes through at almost the same time, and the run comes across. Trying to focus as hard as you can on the baseball, but then the bat's right at your foot. That's got to be a base hit.
It is, and it is an RBI for the Rays, who take a 1-0 advantage. First and third now at 2 down. Weiland's able to break the bat of B.J. Upton, get him to ground, but cannot get him out in the end. And now Evan Longoria's got a chance as he takes the breaking ball for strike 1.
We've seen bats shatter and go all over the infield, but I haven't seen one that's caused a play like that.
Where the bat precedes the ball. And he tried to get out of the way of it while making the play, couldn't do it. The one fouled off. That hurt, and it's 0-2.
One more look at the Scudero play. As you can see, the bat getting to him just about the same time as the baseball. Which one do you feel? You try to feel the baseball, but he couldn't.
Longoria's got the protected padding on. Looks like he hit right off that padding. Still hurt. And he's down 0-2. Fouled out to Adrian Gonzalez at first base in the first inning. Jennings at third, Upton at first, 2 down, and a check on Upton, and he's back to the bag.
B.J. Upton at first base, 29 steals on the season in 38 attempts.
Bluff at third, a look to first, doesn't throw to either venue. It's up high, 1-2. Weiland, who retired the first 7 Rays that he faced, 3 of the last 4 have now reached, and a run is in for Tampa Bay as they bat here in the top of the third. Longoria been walking a lot, 42 walks in the second half. It's one high and deep to right center field. Reddick racing back towards the bullpen, and that ball is gone. Into the bullpen, a 3-run home run for Evan Longoria. And the Rays take a 4-0 lead. So a broken bat single that gets through the infield starts it, and now Longoria comes home, and it's 4 runs after the broken bat.
Hell, a freak inning right here for the Red Sox. As you can see, the play, it's for Scudero, the broken bat that gets through, gets a run home. Then Longoria gets a fastball that's out over the plate. The inside-out swing drives it into the bullpen for the Red Sox.
He was hopeful that Reddick could catch that. It didn't work out. Longoria's got his 27th home run of the year. And the Rays out to a 4-0 advantage. Now Ben Zobrist will take ball 1. Grounded out to first base in the second inning. In there for a strike, and it's a ball and a strike to Zobrist. He is 2 doubles shy of the Rays' all-time single-season record, club record. Aubrey Huff has the record, 47 back in 2003. He was tied for first in the majors with 45 doubles on the season, along with Kansas City Royals left fielder Alex Gordon. Not the way Terry Francona wanted to start this series, as the pitch misses outside, and it's 3-1.
Now, this is certainly a team you don't want to be behind because their pitching is so good.
Zobrist slicing it foul, full count. 4th full count of the night for Kyle Weiland. We'll see David Price in the finale of the series on Sunday against Tim Wakefield. 3-2 pitch to Zobrist. In the air, struck well opposite field. Crawford going back onto the track in front of the wall to make the catch that ends the inning, but a damaging inning. The Rays score 4 times and take a 4-0 lead. On top of the third inning for Tampa Bay. All the runs off Kyle Weiland. And the Red Sox have work to do as they come to bat here in the bottom of the third inning. Jared Saltalamacchia leads it off and takes ball one. Saltalamacchia hitting 249, 16 homers, 55 runs batted in. Jeremy Hellickson with a 4-0 advantage. We talked about the lack of run support that he's received on the season, especially in his losses. 9 runs in the 10 losses that he has on the season. Now he's got a 4-0 lead, which to work here in the third inning. Saltalamacchia will take ball 2. That'll miss. Ball 3, 3-1. Jared hitting at 249 coming into tonight's action. 16 homers, 65 runs batted in. Marco Scutaro waiting on deck. Then we'll see Jacoby Ellsbury in the bottom of the third inning. Works out to be 8, 9, and 1. And the Red Sox batting order tonight. And the shift is on here for the Rays. Ben Zobrist in short right. Swinging a foul tip off of John Jaso.
Back-to-back fastballs from Hellickson. A 3-1 fastball that Saltalamacchia fouled off. Also fouled off the 3-2 fastball.
This is the 4th full count in 8 batters for Jeremy Hellickson. Goes up to 44 pitches. He is 3-2. Is lined a foul ball. Indication very close. It's on the right field line. First base umpire Hunter Wintelstead got a good look.
It was right by Wendelstedt down there at first base as we can take another peek and just barely in foul territory. No chalk coming up on that on the grass part of the field.
Fouled off to the left this time. Still full 3-2. 9th pitch of the at bat coming up to Jared Saltalamacchia, who leads it off here in the third inning. Rain has subsided for the moment here at Fenway Park. Rained a lot during the first couple of innings. Here's a 3-2. Another foul ball for Saltalamacchia. His at bat reaches double figures in pitches. He's fouled off 5 pitches in a row. And he'll take the walk down to first base. Good at bat for Saltalamacchia. Red Sox certainly need base runners, and here's a walk to begin the third inning. What is Boston's greatest sports moment? Now is your chance to help us find out. Visit NESN.com/Nissan. Vote for Boston's greatest sports moment, presented by New England Nissan dealers. Lead runner on in the third inning. Marco Scutaro coming up. Marco at 291, 6 homers and 49 runs batted in. In September, Scutaro has hit at 429. He is 18 for 42 in the month so far. Tops among all major leaguers with 50 plate appearances. And he's second in the majors in the month with 16 RBIs. Jim Hickey taking a look at the pitch count, which is up to 49 right now for Hellickson. A little high at this point of the game for Hellickson. Marco Scutaro at 91 degrees on our temperature gauge. Brought to you by Baseball Info Solutions and Bill James. Fouled off to the right, and it's 1-1. Look at the numbers for him in September at .429. Red Sox have one hit so far of Jeremy Hellickson. A single by David Ortiz to begin the second inning. David would be left at third base to end the second as Carl Crawford popped out. And the Rays go on to score 4 times in the very next inning. Here's a 1-1 to Scudero. And it is by the dive of Brignac into left. Up to second base goes Saltalamacchia on the single by Marco Scudero. Continues to be hot.
6 for his last 11 now is Scudero as he gets that fastball from Hellickson and takes it by the dive of Reed Brignac at shortstop. So the Red Sox trying to come back and get some runs of their own here in the bottom of the third inning.
He's now hitting at .442 in the month of September. Stands at first with nobody out, 2 on, and Jacoby Ellsbury coming up. Ellsbury flied out to center field in the first inning. As he takes ball 1 down and in. Oh for 3 so far in the game. The Red Sox with a runner in scoring position. .1-0 broken back grounder that is a foul ball. That looked like it went right over the bag as Ellsbury thought he had a fair ball.
Very close down that first base line. We'll take another look. We should get a great look from that angle. And I think the umpire made the correct call, just in foul territory. Almost hit part of the bag. You see Ellsbury, he wanted the base hit bad.
One ball, 1 strike. 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Red Sox trying to answer a 4-run top of the third inning for the Rays. Ellsbury takes the strike. Fastball 1-2. On deck, Dustin Pedroia with nobody out here in the third inning. Ellsbury a grounded foul. And they'll get up into the seats. Still 1-2. Well, Red Sox Nation, if you need medical care at Fenway Park, visit the Beth Israel Deaconess First Aid Stand behind Section 12. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Visit them at bidmc.org. A walk for Saltalamacchia, a single for Scudero, 2 on, nobody out. And a 1-2 pitch coming up here to Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury hits a fly ball to medium depth left. Desmond Jennings makes the catch for the first out of the inning. It's time now for the Kettle One honorable moment. On July 17th in St. Pete, the Red Sox and Rays were locked in a scoreless tie. After 15 innings, Dustin Pedroia singled home Josh Reddick in the top of the 16th inning, helping the Red Sox capture the 1-0 victory in their longest game of the 2011 season. Tonight's honorable moment is brought to you by Kettle One. So 1 out, first and second for Dustin Pedroia. He flied out to left fielder Desmond Jennings in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. As Pedroia takes strike one. Pedroia thought about it, lays off, and it evens at 1-1.
Once again, back-to-back changeups by Hellickson. Not afraid to go back-to-back with that pitch.
Saltalamacchia at second base. Scudero at first base. 1 out in the third. Pedroia rips this back into the seats. Out ahead.
Out ahead of another changeup. That's 3 in a row he's thrown Dustin Pedroia. This one stays inside. Pedroia rifles it, but foul.
Well, the lengthy at bat by Saltalamacchia. A lot of deep pitch counts here so far. And this will be the 60th pitch for Hellickson as he works with 1 out in the third inning. This will get through Jaso, and everybody moves up. Saltalamacchia to third, Scudero to second with 1 out.
Right through the 5-hole for John Jaso. It's a breaking ball going to be down in the dirt. The glove does not get down on the ground. He's not able to block it, and 2 men get into scoring position.
So second and third now with 1 out. And Pedroia has worked to kind of even here, 2-2. In the dirt, man. Jaso this time able to knock it down. It's a full count. Hellickson coming into his 27th start of the year. 12-10 with a 2.96 earned run average. Fourth career start against the Red Sox. 1-1 with a 4.95 earned run average. Back-to-back starts against the Red Sox. 3-2 pitch to Pedroia. Is ball 4. And down to first base goes Dustin. A close pitch on that outside corner. Jim Hickey is coming out to talk to Hellickson.
That was very, very close. And I think very fortunate that it went into the closet of Dustin Pedroia.
Wow.
Hellickson can't believe it. He thought he had a perfect pitch there for strike 3. And that's a strike, says Joe Madden.
So instead, the bases are loaded with 1 down, and Adrian Gonzalez is coming up. Bases loaded. Adrian flied out to center field in the first inning. About to be the 63rd pitch for Hellickson. 63 pitches got him through 4 innings last time against the Red Sox. Here he is in the third with 1 out. Gonzalez takes ball 1. Adrian 4 for 13 this season with a walk. With the bases loaded, he bats this time with Saltalamacchia at third, Scudero at second, and Pedroia at first with 1 out. Ground ball down the first baseline. Kochman with a bobble. He'll flip to first for the out, and a run will score. The in from third base comes Saltalamacchia, and the Red Sox are on the board. Adrian picks up his 111th RBI, but he is out number 2 of the inning.
Little bobble at first base by Casey Kochman, but he's moving toward the bag. He's able to feed the pitcher who is covering the bag. They get the out, and the Red Sox get a run. Kochman at first base only has 2 errors all season. Adrian Gonzalez for the Red Sox only has 3 errors all season.
With first base open, they'll put Ortiz on. It'll be the 3rd walk of this inning for Hellickson. First of the intentional variety, and they'll take their chances with Kevin Youkilis. So Big Papi down to first base. Base is loaded again. Youkilis struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Only strikeout so far tonight for Jeremy Hellickson. Youkilis takes strike 1. Hellickson starts off ahead of him. This is loaded, a .296 hitter, 1 grand slam in his career. Scudero at third base, Pedroia at second base, Ortiz at first. Pitch 70 for Hellickson coming up here in just 2 2/3 innings. Here's an 0-1 pitch. That's outside, 1-1. I remember back on June 15th, Hellickson intentionally walked Adrian Gonzalez to get to Youkilis. And Youkilis that time hit a 3-run home run off Jeremy Hellickson. He only runs in a 3-0 Red Sox victory. See what happens this time. It's ball 2, 2-1.
And so far keeping everything away from Kevin Youkilis. All fastballs to this point.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Not a fastball that time.
Once again, that changeup, not afraid to throw it when he's down in the count. That's when he likes to do it. And kept the changeup away from Youkilis.
This is away, and Jaso's got to go to the backhand to get it. Sprawling to grab it. Full count now. Everybody be on the move. 6th full count for Hellickson as Fenway stands as 1. Youkilis grounds towards third base. Longoria on a tough hop, gathers and throws. And Hellickson out of any further trouble in the inning. The Red Sox get a run through 3. It's 4-1 Tampa Bay. Let's get a run back in the bottom of the third inning. Johnny Damon shows bunt, then jumps back out of the way. There is action in the Red Sox pen. Trevor Miller, left-hander, warming up. As Kyle Weiland starts this fourth inning. Miller very familiar with the Rays, a two-time Tampa Bay Ray, as he warms up in the Red Sox pen. Johnny Damon flied out to the warning track in right field. With a charge into one in the second inning, but was retired by Josh Reddick. Kyle Weiland retired the first 7 Tampa Bay Rays he faced, but second time through a much different story. Rays got to him for 4 runs in the third inning. And he walks Johnny Damon to begin the fourth inning. Another 24-minute wait. And has walked the first batter that he faces here in the fourth inning. As Kurt Young visits the mound, it is time now for tonight's AT&T trivia question. On this date in 1979, which former Red Sox became the first player to hit for the cycle in both leagues? We'll have the answer for you a little bit later. Kyle Weiland to be facing Matt Joyce next. Joyce grounded out to first base in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. It's a light slate in the American League tonight. The Yankees are off after playing in Seattle last night, and the Yankees lost in last night's game. The pitch is outside, so standings remain the same. Red Sox 4 back of the Yankees, and 4 ahead of these Tampa Bay Rays, who have a 4-1 lead in game 1 of this 4-game series. On the inside corner for strike 1. Two balls and a strike to Matt Joyce.
Johnny Damon at first base, 15 steals on the season. A hit and run count right here. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Damon not running, but swinging is Joyce, and he misses. 2-2.
More of a cut fastball that time from Weiland to pick up the second strike against Matt Joyce.
Throw over, and Damon's got a dive back this time. Mentioned earlier, Johnny Damon stealing his 400th career base Tuesday night at Baltimore. And the second player in Major League history with 200 home runs, 400 stolen bases, 100 triples. He joins Paul Molitor in that category. His ground ball that eats up Pedroia. Jumps off his glove and into short right. Or to second base, trying to throw behind Damon, but he's back to the bag. If Pedroia can pick that, it would definitely be a double play, but he couldn't. It exploded on him and ends up in short right.
Off to his right just a little bit and gets by Pedroia as he deflects it. See it to his right there. It deflects it off his glove, and we'll see how they score this. Probably be an error on Pedroia.
They do charge him with an error. And it is first and second with nobody out, and that's going to be the night for Kyle Weiland. So Terry Francona out to make the change here in the fourth inning. Tampa Bay on top 4-1. Trevor Miller coming in. 4-1 Tampa Bay on top of Boston. Kyle Weiland can just be a spectator now as he looks out as Casey Kochman stands in and takes ball one. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by New England Ford Dealers. First appearance for Trevor Miller after being called up by the Red Sox. Miller makes a total of 6 appearances this year between 2 stops. The Jays and Cardinals this season. 4.91 earned run average in the majors this year as the pitch is in there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. As pitch for Detroit, Houston, Philadelphia, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Rays, the Cardinals. In a 13-year major league career for this veteran left-hander. Signed by the Red Sox, a minor league free agent on August the 30th. And got into 3 games with the Pawtucket Red Sox before he was called up. There is action behind him in the pen as Scott Atchison now warming up for Boston. Kyle Weiland going 3+ innings, responsible for the 2 men on. Johnny Damon at second, Matt Joyce at first, nobody out. Here's a 2-1. And Kochman hits it in the air to center. Ellsbury tracks it and makes the catch. Tagging at second and headed to third is Damon. He gets there without a problem. And with 1 out, the Rays have first and third now. I want to remind you to tune in tomorrow to Dennis and Callahan when NFL Network's Mike Lombardi joins John and Jerry. It all begins at 6 a.m. across the Sports Radio Network, including 93.7 FM in Boston and right here on Nesson. Did you get up in time for your normal call-in today?
More than early enough, Don. Got up, had coffee, and they got me right in my 3rd cup.
Did John make a statement in his first question?
Actually, it was Jerry that asked the first question this morning. They switched it up.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. After they visited with us yesterday, they said they're going to mix it up. I forgot about that. Jaso dropping the bunt down to first base, but coming with a backhanded throw, and out at the plate is Damon. Nice play by Adrian Gonzalez. Picks and throws a little backhander to Jared Saltalamacchia, and they get Damon 2 down.
Well, more of a safety squeeze right there by the Tampa Bay Rays. Damon at third base was not off on the pitch, but once he sees the bunt go down the first base line, that's a heck of a play by Adrian Gonzalez. A shuffle pass to Saltalamacchia to get the out at home plate. So the safety squeeze put on by Joe Madden. That time the Red Sox get Damon at home plate.
So first and second down, Jaso reaching on a fielder's choice. And Reed Brignac, the batter.
You see, Damon does not break with the pitch. He breaks on contact with the bunt. And a nice little shuffle pass by Adrian Gonzalez gets him out at home plate.
In there for a strike, and it's 1-1 to Brignac. He popped out to Marco Scudero in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1. Light rain starting to fall here at Fenway Park again. It's been on again, off again all night. Chopped up the middle. Pedroia will go to second base, and they will retire Jaso to end the inning. So the Rays do not score, but have a 4-1 lead after 3.5.
Live performance at Foxwoods Resort Casino December 9th and 10th. Visit foxwoods.com for tickets. Foxwoods is the official resort casino of the Boston Red Sox.
Freddie Lynn in the Legends suite here at Fenway Park tonight. 4-1 Tampa Bay on top of Boston as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Josh Reddick leading it off in the fourth inning.
Yeah, Freddie looks like he can still hit.
Yes, he does. Still living in San Diego, yes?
Yes, I believe so.
Reddick takes pitch down and in, 2-0. Reddick grounded out to third baseman Evan Longoria in the second inning. He was 0 for 1 in the night. Light rain falling at Fenway as the Red Sox trail by 3, batting in the fourth inning. Reddick takes strike 1. Ellickson at 77 pitches, working here in the fourth inning. He's had to work hard, even though he's given up only 1 run through the first 3 innings. Did have a 1-2-3 first. Reddick will hit a fly ball well to right. Matt Joyce is back to the track to make the catch. One out in the fourth inning. It's time now for the answer to tonight's AT&T trivia question. On this date in 1979, which first Red Sox became the first player to hit the cycle in both leagues? And the answer is Bob Watson. First hit for the cycle on June 24th of 77. Well, with the Astros, he did it again just over 2 years later, this time as a member of the Red Sox. Actually hit for the cycle in order, as this one is in the air to center field, sending B.J. Upton back. Wynn's going to knock it down, and he's going to make the catch. 2 down in the fourth as we check in with Heidi.
Beltran. Don, it's time for your MLB News and Notes, brought to you by HP. Carlos Beltran hit his 299th and 300th career homers in the Giants' 3-1 win over San Diego yesterday. He became just the 9th switch hitter in big league history to reach that 300 home run plateau. And Milwaukee Brewers free agent-to-be Prince Fielder said this is likely his last year with the team. In an interview with TBS, Brewer said it's been a great 5 years, but realistically, he doesn't think he's going to be back. It has been widely speculated that the Brewers wouldn't be able to afford to keep the All-Star. Done?
All right, Heidi, thank you very much. 2 outs here in the fourth inning. Jared Saltalamacchia walked in the third inning. And came around to score the Red Sox only run. Like the at-bat. 10-pitch at-bat before he worked the walk. Taps it foul, 0-2. We're talking about Bob Watson hitting for the cycle. 2 different leagues. He actually hit for the cycle in order, singling in the second inning off Orioles starter Dennis Martinez at the time. Then doubled in the fourth, tripled in the eighth, and homered in the ninth. The Red Sox, June 24th, of 77. And the other player to have a cycle in both leagues, John Olerud. His first cycle with the Mets in 97, then with the Mariners in 01. This is into the shift, and it's Ben Zobrist who throws out Jared Saltalamacchia and ends the fourth inning. We played fourth, 4-1 Tampa Bay. by donating $1,000 for every home run Adrian hits this season to select Habitat for Humanity affiliates in eastern Massachusetts. Rainy night at Fenway Park, but we have played through and the rain has subsided for the moment. As we start the top of the fifth inning, Red Sox move on to their third pitcher of the night, Scott Atchison. His 12th game of the year in a Red Sox uniform, 0-0 with a 4.71 earned run average. 21 innings, 13 strikeouts to 4 walks, and when it's sitting at 310 against Atchison, he ended up giving up 2 runs, 3 strikeouts, and 2 2/3 in relief of John Lackey back on the 9th of September. That was the last we saw Atchison, and that was at Tampa Bay against these Rays.
Now Terry Francona using that 40-man roster, that expanded bullpen, to get 3 outs from Miller in the 4th inning against left-handed hitters. Now back to the top of the order with some right-handers, and in comes Atchison.
And then you get Franklin Morales up in the pen now. No 2 pitch. We want it up. It is up, and it's fouled back. Still 0-2. Desmond Jennings leading it off here in the 5th inning for the Rays. So the pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket for Kyle Weiland. 3+ innings, 3 hits. Charged with 4 runs, including the 3-run home run by Evan Longoria. He walked 2, struck out a batter, and threw 61 pitches. Now Jennings will pop it up in the infield, and it's Dustin Pedroia who makes the catch, the first out of the 5th. Tonight, following Schooled, join Jack Edwards for Nesson Daily, presented by Sun Life Financial. Darren McIntosh talks with Patriots Hall of Fame inductee Drew Bledsoe. Jamie Parker sits down with Celtics head coach Doc Rivers to discuss the NBA lockout. Plus, Naoko Funayama reports from Bruins captain's practice at Restuccia. All this and much more on Nesson Daily tonight, following Schooled, only on Nesson. 1 out in the 5th. DJ Upton 1 for 2. To left, but at Crawford, who has to leap to make the catch. He knew it was coming at him, but I don't think he realized that it almost went over his head, so he had to react quickly at that sharp line drive to left.
Now that ball really hit hard by B.J. Upton, almost like it was taking off as it was getting to Kyle Crawford. Crawford back a couple of steps to leap and makes the catch. Right in the webbing of the glove, right in the top of the glove.
So 2 down here in the 5th, and here's Evan Longoria. Fouled out in the 1st inning. Hit a 3-run home run into the bullpen in the 3rd inning as he takes strike 1. Longoria getting his 27th home run of the year. RBI's 86, 87, and 88. It was 1-0. Kyle Weiland and the Red Sox were trailing when Longoria did this. That's strike 2. Longoria didn't think so. Spins out of the box, shaking his head, and is down 1-2. In the dirt, and it's 2-2. It's downstairs for ball 3, full count. Ben Zobrist on deck. 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th inning. And a liner that is into left center field, a base hit. Trying to time his leap with Scutaro just over his outstretched glove, and Evan Longoria's got a 2-out single, his 2nd hit of the game.
2 for 3 tonight for Longoria. You mentioned the 3-run home run. Now he gets a cut fastball and goes down there with it, put it on a line up over the head of Marco Scutaro for the 2-out base hit.
1 on, 2 outs, and here's Ben Zobrist, who is 0 for 2 in the game. Take strike 1. Zobrist grounded out to first base in the second inning, then flied out to the warning track in left field in the third. 0 for 2. Inside, 1-1. Ball 2, 2-1. Atchison in 36 games this year with the Pawtucket Red Sox, including 1 start. He was 6-2, had 5 saves with a 2.54 ERA for Pawtucket. Had 72 strikeouts, just 9 walks. Generally does not walk many. Here's the pitch missing for ball 3. Falls behind this time, 3-1. Johnny Damon waiting on deck. With 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th. Runner goes as that's a strike. The throw down is going to be in time. Got him on the way by. What a slap tag for Scudero on Longoria. It ends the top of the 5th. The Rays have a 4-1 lead. The holidays, do what the Red Sox did. Turn to Frank Webb's Bass Centers, the FW Webb showrooms to gather all the information you need. Find your showroom at frankwebb.com. Scott Atchison, it was an inning of relief for the Red Sox, pitches the 5th. Some help from Saltalamacchia, guns down Evan Longoria to end the top half of the 5th. It's on to the bottom of the 5th. Marco Scudero, Jacoby Ellsbury, Justin Pedroia at bat. Scudero singled in the 3rd inning. He's got to 1 of 2 Red Sox hits. Another hit, a single for David Ortiz in the 2nd inning.
Jared Saltalamacchia has thrown out about 25% of the runners going against him this season. Nice play by Scutero as he comes up to meet the baseball and slap the tag on Longoria.
That's a strike. 2-1 now to Scutero. Jeremy Hellickson has had 2 1-2-3 innings in his outing. The first inning, and then in the fourth, which he is fresh off of, the 2-1 pitch. Line to center. Upton is there and makes the catch. Positioned perfectly for the first out of the fifth. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Eastern Bank, awarded highest customer satisfaction in retail banking in the New England region 2 years in a row by J.D. Power and Associates. Find out more of what we're made of at easternbank.com. One out in the fifth inning is Jacoby Ellsbury. He is 0 for 2 in the game. He's flied out to center, flied out to left. A 18-game hitting streak coming into tonight's action as he takes ball one. That's a strike. 1-1. Hellickson has walked 3. That all happened in the same inning, the third inning, when Red Sox got a run and left the bases loaded. One of those walks, incidentally, was intentional. Essentially walked Ortiz, and then he got a Euclid to ground out, so it worked out. Only 1 strikeout for Hellickson so far through 4 1/3 innings. His strikeout high in the year is 10, and he did that in his very first outing of the season back on April 6th against Los Angeles. '90th pitch is in the dirt. 2-2.
Well, if the Red Sox have done anything, they've built up the pitch count at least for Hellickson early in this ball game.
Pedroia waiting on deck. 1 down in the fifth inning. Ellsbury strikes out looking. It is the second strikeout for Hellickson, and there's 2 down in the fifth.
That's what happens when you've got a good changeup like Hellickson has. You're not sure when he's going to throw it. This time the fastball freezes. Jacoby Ellsbury may have been thinking about something off speed.
Pitching line brought to you by your Boston area Lexus dealers. 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. He's walked 3 and struck out 2. And about to throw his 92nd pitch of his outing with 2 down here in the fifth. And a strike 1 to Pedroia. Dustin has flied out to left and walked. His third plate appearance of the game. All the scoring in this game coming in the third inning. The Rays with 4 runs in the top of the third. Red Sox got a run in the bottom of the third, and that has been it. And it is now 6 in a row retired by Hellickson, who jumps ahead of Pedroia 1-2.
That time the curveball from Hellickson. There were a couple of those earlier in the ball game. To Kyle Crawford in particular back in the second inning.
Swing and a miss to the fastball to strike out Pedroia. Back-to-back strikeouts. 7 in a row retired by Hellickson. The Rays have a 4-1 lead.
is brought to you by Foxwoods Resort Casino, official resort casino of the Boston Red Sox.
Four to 1. Tampa Bay on top of the Red Sox as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. Red Sox bring on their 4th pitcher of the night, Franklin Morales, his 33rd appearance, 0-1, 3.25 earned run average. In 27 2/3, he's got 27 strikeouts. And opponents hitting at 243 against Morales. Takes over for Scott Atchison, who worked the 5th inning, gave up a base hit, but no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Is that ZZ Top in the house?
Could be.
Somebody who looks like ZZ Top.
Got a big guy going there. It's not lit, though.
No. Of course, there's no smoking at Fenway Park. Ben Zobrist coming up here in the 6th inning to be followed by Damon and Joyce. Ben Zobrist is 0 for 2. He was at the plate when Longoria got gunned down to end the 5th inning. Morales worked in yesterday's game for the Red Sox against the Toronto Blue Jays, 2/3 of an inning. This is lined into left field, a base hit for Zobrist. Over is Crawford to play it. Zobrist will stop and return to first. The leadoff single to begin things here in the 6th inning.
Well, Zobrist was at the plate when Longoria got thrown out stealing to end the 5th inning. Gets a breaking ball that time from Morales and shoots it into left field for the base hit. Let's see if they have Johnny Damon bunting here in this situation. Lefty against lefty.
Damon has flied out to the warning track in right and walked. He is taking ball 1 outside. Away 2-0. Go first, and they picked him off. Zobrist is out.
Now Morales is making a habit of this right now. Picking runners off first base.
Joe Madden thought it was a balk.
Yeah. And that's about as close as you can come to without having a balk being called. Tag on the elbow before the fingers got to the bag.
And Damon is hit with the pitch. 96 miles an hour from Franklin Morales.
Looks like got Johnny right off the elbow, too. That right elbow.
5th time Johnny Damon's been hit by a pitch this season. One out, one on. Matt Joyce, the batter. Joyce grounded out to first base in the 2nd, reached on an error committed by Dustin Pedroia at second base in the 4th. He is 0 for 2 in the game. I'm going to pitch in tight for Morales again. Action for the Red Sox about to start is Matt Albers.
This is about as early in a game we've seen this year where Terry Francona is going left, right, left, right.
That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Game number 149 of the season for the Red Sox. This one slap foul off to the left out of play, and it's 1-2. That'll miss, and it's 2-2. Joyce, who has run much better at home at the Trop this season, he hits at .316 at home while hitting .243 on the road in 62 games away from the Trop. Started only 6 of the last 28 games. There's a throw to first, and back to the bag is Damon. Swing and a foul tip. Saltalamacchia holds on for strike 3. 2 down in the 6th. First strikeout for Morales, only the second strikeout for Red Sox pitching in the game.
Well, Morales staying inside with that fastball that time to pick up the strikeout against Matt Joyce.
So 2 down, and it brings up Casey Kochman, who is 0 for 2 in the game. Kochman grounding out to second base in the 3rd inning, flied out to center in the 4th. Over the last 34 games, his batting average has fallen 30 points. As the breaking ball misses high. During that span, he's been held hitless 15 games in that span. Comes into tonight hitting at .311. His batting average has not been below .311 since April 27th. Drills this to right center field. Reddick heads back, but it is going to be gone into the bullpen. A line drive, 2-run home run for Casey Kochman, his 10th home run of the year. And the Rays take a 6-1 lead. That was a bullet.
10 home runs on the season, as you mentioned, Don, for Kochman. 4 of those coming against the Red Sox. A line shot home run into the Red Sox bullpen on a fastball out over the plate.
So a 2-run home run, and the Rays have a 5-run lead with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. John Jaso, the batter, has doubled and reached on a fielder's choice. Fenway Park's crowd here very quiet at the moment. Jaso takes a pitch inside, 3-0. There's a strike, 3-1. Casey Kochman has homered to give the Rays a 5-run advantage. His second home run of the night. First one was a 3-run home run by Evan Longoria in the 3rd inning, and now the most recent, Kochman with his 10th. 3-1. Fouled off, full count. Immediately following tonight's game, stay with us for WB Mason Extra Innings Live with TC, Peter, and Heidi. Get a breakdown of Kyle Weiland's outing, including his take on tonight's performance. Plus, he'll have the manager's perspective in the From the Press Room segment. So coming up right after the game on WB Mason Extra Innings Live. 3-2 pitch to John Jaso. In tight, and he will head down to first base. Ball 4. 2-out walk for Jaso. How much would you pay for the ultimate refreshment? How about just 79 cents? It's all it costs when you visit the Chill Zone at Cumberland Farms. Fill up on all your favorite fountain and frozen beverages for just 79 cents, any size, any time. The Chill Zone, only at Cumberland Farms. Two outs here in the 6th inning. 2 runs in. Jaso at first, and here's Reed Brignac. Brignac has popped to short and reached on a fielder's choice. 0 for 2 in the game. Broken back grounder right side. Pedroia will flip to second for the force out that ends the inning. But a 2-run home run in the inning for Casey Kochman. And the Rays have a 6-1 lead. Waterborne stain that outperforms the best oil-based stains on the market. Find your Arbor Coat at local Benjamin Moore retailer. Happy birthday from Puerto Rico.
I wonder how you say that in Spanish.
I don't know. You're pretty good at Spanish.
Feliz Cumpleaños.
Adrian Gonzalez leads it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Adrian's 0 for 2. He's flied out to center, grounded out to first base. Followed by David Ortiz, Kevin Youkilis. Red Sox trailing by 5 runs. Jeremy Hellickson has retired 7 Red Sox in a row, as Gonzalez takes a pitch in the dirt to even the count at 1-1. Juan Cruz, the right-hander, warming in the pen now for the Rays. As Hellickson's pitch count is at 97 pitches, a couple of quick innings, and it's really helped him out after throwing 74 pitches through the first 3 innings. Slap foul, 1-2. Red Sox have been held to just 2 hits by Hellickson. A single by David Ortiz in the second. Single for Marco Scutaro in the third inning. That's been it. Tap foul, still 1-2. Juan Cruz no longer alone in the pen. Left-hander up alongside Jake McGee. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Wind has shifted, blowing in at the moment pretty hard. A swirling wind as the 1-2 is hit on the ground right side. The shift is on. Zobrist will throw out Gonzalez for the first out of the 6th inning.
Time now for the Coors Light freeze cam, and back in the 3rd inning, B.J. Upton with a broken bat. That goes out toward Marco Scutaro. So does the baseball. And both get through. Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
One out in the 6th inning. David Ortiz has been on twice in the game as he takes ball 1. David singled in the 2nd inning. He intentionally walked in the 3rd, so he's been aboard twice tonight. Another shift on, race shift on a lot of the Red Sox. There's a strike, 1-1. This one fouled off to the left and into the press box. Gordon Eads making the play. Two-handed. Probably saved his computer. Look like you've been there before. That's all it's about right there. Done it over and over and again. 1-2 bounces in. It's a nice play. Very nice play. Two balls, two strikes to David Ortiz. One out in the 6th inning. It's ball 3, full count. Rays getting 4 runs in the 3rd inning, 2 runs in the 6th inning, and Hellickson some runs to work with from offensive support from the Rays. His 3-2 pitch. Ortiz. It's a fly ball to left field. Desmond Jennings. Wind pushing it back, and it'll fall. Wow. The wind absolutely took that baseball a long way away, and Jennings was camped underneath, then broke into a sprint and can't catch it. How about that?
Now that's one that Reed Brenyak, the shortstop, has to be back there to help out because of the wind. He's pointing to Desmond Jennings, and Jennings is looking at Brenyak like, I can't get to it. You're going to have to help me out. Well, the Red Sox certainly catch a break there with that ball dropping in. Actually, it was Longoria that was back there. They were in the shift.
One out, Ortiz aboard. It is the 3rd Red Sox hit of the night. Now Kevin Youkilis, who is 0 for 2. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Youkilis struck out in the 2nd inning, grounded out to 3rd base in the 3rd. Rain starting again here at Fenway Park again. Hellickson at 108 pitches now in his outing. Down the right field line and foul. In the next round of our newest reality competition series, AT&T School Nesson's College Face-Off, presented in part by your local Chevy dealers. Providence and UConn go head-to-head. Find out who takes this battle of wits tonight after Red Sox coverage, and visit Nesson.com/schooled for more. One out in the 6th inning. David Ortiz at first base. Hellickson getting ready with an 0-2 pitch. Youkilis strikes out. He goes away further from Youkilis, and he goes lunging. It's a 4th strikeout for Hellickson. Second time Youkilis is down by way of the K.
You can tell that everything Youkilis is doing right now is hurting him. There's no question about it. That swing, that pitch away, obviously hurting the hip as he swings. We've seen it in the field when he dives for a ball.
Two down in the 6th inning. Josh Reddick, the batter. Reddick has grounded out to third base. Flied out to right, 0 for 2 in the game tonight.
We mentioned in the open, the last 5 games the Red Sox have played, they've lost to Tampa Bay, and they've scored a total of 10 runs. They have 1 run in this game tonight.
Great to have Drew Bledsoe in the booth. We will be talking to Drew next half inning, as he is going to be inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame coming up this weekend. We'll talk about it next inning with Drew. The 1-1 pitch coming up here to Josh Reddick. This one foul back, 1-2. Wind is howling from left to right as the light rain falls here at Fenway Park. Not the best conditions in the world. And for the Red Sox, it has been miserable as they trail in this game now 6-1 with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Not much fun for our great crew either.
Trying to hold those cameras steady in these heavy winds.
Tom Gilmet all strapped in the dirt, and it is 2-2. David Ortiz, who's at first base, been on base 3 times in this game. One of the few Red Sox hitters who's had success, got a little help from the wind this inning. As Reddick gets straightened up, full count. 115 pitches now for Hellickson with 2 outs in the 6th inning. His season high is 119 against the Yankees July 19th as Reddick fouls it off. Carl Crawford on deck with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. He's had no success with Hellickson tonight. He is 0 for 2 in the game. There's ball 4, and down to first base goes Reddick. The 4th walk given up by Hellickson, and here comes Joe Madden to make the change. Hellickson getting up there, 117 pitches, and Madden will make the change with Crawford coming up. It is 6-1 Tampa Bay with 2 outs in the 6th. brings the heat and the flavor to every meal. Sox closer Jonathan Papelbon is not allowed to run in his last 20 appearances dating back to July 17th. Papelbon has 25 strikeouts, walked only 2 batters, held opponents to an .060 batting average, 21 innings over that span. The Flamethrower brought to you by Cholula Hot Sauce. Cholula brings the heat and the flavor to every meal. Papelbon out in the bullpen now, but the Red Sox trail 6-1 in this game. 2 outs in the 6th inning. With 2 on, Carl Crawford, the batter. Line to left. Jennings is there, and he makes the catch. So Jake McGee on 1 pitch gets out of the jam. The Red Sox strand a pair. We head for the 7th, 6-1 Tampa Bay. Makes his return to the Red Sox rotation. Couldn't have better timing. That's because Beckett has been nearly unhittable against Tampa this season in 2 starts. Beckett has pitched 17 innings, allowed 2 hits and no runs. Career against the Rays 8-4. Nesson's live coverage begins at 5:30 with Friday Night Fenway. Some changes for the Red Sox as Mike Aviles takes over at third base for Kevin Youkilis. And Matt Albers into the game for Boston, his 52nd appearance of the season, 4-4. And a .257 opponent batting average as he'll deal with Desmond Jennings to begin things here in the 7th inning. Red Sox trailing in the game 6-1. Newest member of the New England Patriots Hall of Fame, Drew Bledsoe, joins us. Drew, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Be a little happier if this game was going a little better, yeah. But we'll get after it.
Back here again. When was the last time you were in Foxborough?
We came back a year ago for a little wine deal. We got a little winery out in Washington, so we came out a year ago, my wife and I did, to support that. But yeah, I haven't been back here for a football game since I played here against the Patriots with the Bills.
So you get the big day on Saturday when you get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then the halftime celebration on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. So we got an induction ceremony, me and John Morris on Saturday, and then we'll be at the game on Sunday. They're going to do a nice deal at halftime for us.
Looking back over the course of your career, what is the best memory if you have one?
Oh, geez. There are a ton of fantastic memories, just guys that I played with and so on. But if you want to talk specific games, the AFC Championship game after I got hurt and Tommy came in and took over and started playing so well, I got to come back in and play in that AFC Championship game to send us to the Super Bowl. That was a big memory. And going back farther from that, all the way back to like 94, my second year in the league, we were not doing very well. We were 3-6 and played the Minnesota Vikings. We were down by a couple touchdowns going into halftime and went 2-minute offense the whole second half, came back and beat them in overtime. That was a pretty fun game. Tons of great memories, though.
You play with a lot of great players. You keep in touch with a lot of the guys you've played with in the past?
Keep in touch with quite a few guys. Tommy and I keep in touch from time to time. Todd Rucci's, who blocked for me for 8 years, is a great friend. Damon Heward, who was a backup quarterback with me there for a few years, and then went on to back Tommy up for a couple years. Great friend of mine. Teddy Bruschi, I keep in touch with. A handful of guys that really see from time to time, which is cool.
Do you miss it? You miss Sunday when Sunday rolls around?
Absolutely. I was one of the fortunate few. I actually got a chance to choose to retire. So I was still could have moved on and gone to another team or two, but it was the right time for me to move on. But when Sunday rolls around and we're watching those games, I'll always miss it. If you play the game and fortunate enough to play as long as I did, it's part of you, and it's hard. So it's going to be interesting to be there on Sunday. I've discovered that my body has a physical reaction to the national anthem.
In the air to left field, this is struck well and gone into the monster seats. B.J. Upton hits a 2-run home run and puts the Rays on top 8-1 as the Rays continue to hit Red Sox pitching. For Upton, his 21st home run of the year and 3 RBIs in the game.
Well, B.J. Upton had a grand slam against Matt Albers on Sunday. Now he has the 2-run home run here to give the 8-1 lead now to the Rays. And this is not exactly the way the Red Sox wanted to start out this big series.
And a 2-run shot for Upton. Evan Longoria, who hit a 3-run home run back in the 3rd inning, gets his 4th at bat of the game. He's got 2 hits. Now he sends one out to center field. That's where Ellsbury is. And the wind knocks it down, but Ellsbury makes a catch. Drew, you were telling us in between innings that you got a neighbor of yours that is former Red Sox player and a very good former Red Sox player.
Absolutely. Alan Embry lives right next door to us out in Little Bend, Oregon. And Alan's just a great guy. He's settling into this little community, doing a great job. He's coaching some baseball. And he's actually coaching some quarterbacks.
Is that right?
For the football team, the local football team now. But he's just a superstar. He's a great guy. And I'm not sure if you'd like me telling too much of this, but he does protect we've got a little dog that runs around our backyard, and Alan protects that little dog from the coyotes that live out there by us.
That sounds like him.
I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that.
You got some stuff roaming around out there.
There are some things roaming around that like little dogs, and Alan, they seem to disappear when Alan's around, which is great.
How closely do you follow the Patriots now?
I watch. I would consider myself a fan. I'm not intimately involved at any special level, but I watch the Patriots a lot. I'm a huge fan of what they do and what they've done, and it's really cool to come back here and see where that organization has gone. It's really gone to the moon. It's really neat under the stewardship of the Kraft family and with Belichick and with Brady, and the whole thing is really. From where we left it has really continued to go onward and upward, and it's really cool to see.
I was going to say, really, you kind of started it along with, you think about Bill Parcells and that whole run. When you guys got that going, it seems like that's what really got it going.
It was cool. It was, especially now looking back, when you're in the middle of it, you never really know. You're just showing up and playing football. But now looking back, we were collectively part of a turnaround for an organization, and really kind of got it started, got the thing kicked off, and now they've taken it and gone to the moon from there. It's really cool. They've become really the premier franchise in the NFL, and when I got here in 1993, that was certainly far from the case.
Yeah.
Playing the little Foxborough Stadium, and it was raining in the locker room, and taking cold showers and having meetings in portables and all of that. And now you look at what's down there; it's pretty cool.
June Parcells butt heads every once in a while.
How could you not with that guy? He was. You ask anybody that ever played for Bill Parcells, he was a colossal pain in the butt. But obviously a fantastic football coach that was instrumental in getting the New England Patriots to a certain level.
They're going to make a pitching change. Can you hang with us for another break here?
Sure, absolutely.
Right, we'll be right back from Fenway Park. It is 8-1 Tampa Bay on top of Boston. Eastern Bank believes something as simple as your checking account shouldn't come with a lot of strings attached. Eastern Free Checking teaches how good a checking account can feel. The new pitcher for the Red Sox as they trail 8-1 is Andrew Miller. He becomes the 6th pitcher of the night for Boston. And Miller, of course, been in the rotation. His 15th appearance, 6-3 with a 5.58 earned run average, 43 strikeouts to 38 walks. And opponents hitting at 307. Drew Bledsoe is joining us in the booth here in the top half of the 7th inning. He's going to be inducted into the New England Patriots Hall of Fame over the weekend. And you talked about the Crafts, a terrible loss in Myra Kraft very recently.
Right. She was an amazing woman. Anybody that came in contact with her, she was one of those people that had the special ability to make you aspire to be a better person. And she did a lot, obviously, in the New England area and worldwide from a charitable standpoint. But knowing her on a personal level, was a pretty special thing. It's a horrible loss. I know that Robert has. That was one of those magical, true love affairs that lasted for a long time, and I know that Robert has really struggled with that loss. Thankfully, I think football probably is saving him right now. He's got football to focus on, and the business of that to focus on, because I know it's been a really tough road for him.
Well, he was a big part of getting football back this season. I mean, you take a look at the lockout situation. Can you imagine a scenario where they didn't come back this year?
Pretty scary to think about, really. I talked to my brother just the other day. I said, with all that's going on with unemployment and the economy and all of those things, can you imagine if we didn't have football right now? It would feel really bad. It's interesting. You talk about these games that we play, and football, baseball, basketball, all these, and hockey, these big sports. They're just kind of a pastime, but ultimately they're pretty important to our national identity. It would have been pretty scary to see football not happen.
Andrew Miller here with a count of 3-1, 1 out in the 7th inning.
And these probably the worst conditions to play football in. Wind
is awful. Wind is awful to play football in. Thankfully, I was fortunate enough to be exiled to Buffalo, where not only was it windy all the time, it was also rainy and snowy all the time. It was pretty atrocious. Trying to throw a wet ball in the wind is no fun. Makes you look bad.
Well, fans will want to tune in to Ness and Daly tonight, and Max Lane is going to be on Ness and Daly tonight talking about playing with Drew Bledsoe.
Good old Max Lane. You know what? He was a heck of a football player. He had some great years for us playing right tackle. Unfortunately for him, the plays that get shown over and over again are him matched up against the best pass rusher in history in the Super Bowl, and Reggie White, but I think people overlooked the fact that Max had a lot of great years, really played well for the Patriots for a long time.
You mentioned Reggie White. When you were lined up and looking across on the defensive side, was there one guy that you were perhaps most nervous about who was coming across?
I was nervous about all of them. Those guys are some big, mean dudes. I look back on it now, it was 4 years ago, but it seems like a lifetime ago. I'm not sure what I was thinking lining up against those guys, but the one guy that really stands out was Bruce Smith, who was just a warrior, and I had to face him twice a year forever. And thankfully, though, for us, we had a Hall of Famer that was lined up against him, and Bruce Armstrong, so they neutralized each other a little bit, because Bruce Smith was a nasty dude.
They cause a lot of screen passes, don't they?
No doubt. Screen passes, draws, anything to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, no question.
We talked about conditions. Did you mind the snow? Did that bother you at all?
The snow, I love playing in the snow. I needed to play more snow games. I never lost a game that we played in the snow, so we needed to play more snow games. My grandmother on my dad's side blessed me with some very big hands, so I could always throw the football in the snow.
So fouled off by Joyce, still 1-2 here with 1 out in the inning. Well, the Red Sox in some tough conditions here tonight, off to a tough start. Now, it's Gillette Stadium. Have you been to Gillette Stadium yet?
I have. I haven't been down there for a game, which will be there for the first time on Sunday for a game, except when I came in there to play with the Bills, which that was not that fun, unfortunately, for me. But pretty amazing to see what's been done down there and all the development around there. It's pretty neat.
Patriots Place and everything else that is down there now, and it will be a big part of it on Saturday. The induction, be there for halftime on Sunday.
Pretty fun. Now I get to take my kids down there. My 3 sons were all born here in New England, and You know, they haven't been back here a lot, but they'll get a chance to go down there and check all of it out. They'll be really fired up.
We were watching some video of you playing a little while ago, and it's amazing Kevin Falk's still playing the game.
Yeah, right. He's been a great player for a long time for him now. He's I think he and Tom might be the only two guys that were there when I was there that are still playing for the Patriots. I think he and Brady might be the only two.
He's a pop-up foul, and the wind will give it a push. Shaltalamaki will have no play.
Did you ever anticipate that Brady would have the type of career that he's had?
No, he was just a skinny little twerp out of Michigan. You know, I mean, he was. I really liked him from the minute he got here. Really was fond of the guy when he first stepped on the field, and felt like he would be around for a long time. But I think I wouldn't say, I don't want to speak for him, but anybody that was there at that time figured, hey, this guy's got something special to him. He'll probably be a good, nice, 10, 12-year backup in the league.
Yeah.
Was kind of what I think how he was viewed at that point. I always loved Tommy from the word go, but I don't think anybody could envision what he's gone on to become. It's been fun to watch.
Swing and a miss, and Joyce strikes out. Jerry brought up Bill Parcells a little bit earlier. I mean, there was some pretty good shouting matches coming over there, man. What was it like to play for him? I mean, was it enjoyable at any point?
Yeah, game days were great because he was over there on the sidelines. He couldn't get at you. It was great.
He wanted to buy the groceries.
Yeah, he wanted to buy the groceries. Unfortunately, he wasn't the guy paying for them. So when you're paying for the groceries, you get to pick what's for dinner, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. But no, he was a pain in the butt to play for, but obviously a great coach.
2 down in the inning, first and second here for the Rays. It's already been a 2-run inning for Tampa Bay.
It's been a lot of fun though to watch Tom Brady and what he's accomplished. He's a guy that's worked for all of it, and he's handled himself with such class and such dignity on and off the field over the years that. Obviously, it was difficult when he stepped in and took my job. Nobody likes that, no matter what. But to watch what he's gone on and done with that position has been pretty cool.
The other guys in the league that you like watching?
Yeah, I've always been a quarterback fan. So, watching Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, and hopefully Peyton gets back on the field here soon. I like watching Phillip Rivers. That's going to be a heck of a matchup coming up this weekend with the Chargers coming to town.
His top foul, still 0-2.
Some good quarterback play in the league right now. I like this kid down in Tampa, Josh Freeman. He looks like he's a young guy that's got a future. Eli Manning's a good player. Roethlisberger's had a ton of success. So there's some quarterback play that's pretty good. It seemed like there for a while that the level of play at the quarterback position had fallen off for a little bit. But now there's some guys that are really playing the position really well.
There's a lot of guys that don't enjoy the preparation side. Did you enjoy the film working up to the games?
I really, really did. I enjoyed digging in there. I would always come in early when it was quiet. I could sit by myself and actually watch some film, and I enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed the physical side of it, trying to get in shape and work and throwing the ball, and I always loved practice too. Fortunately, when you're a quarterback, you never have to hit anybody, so practice was actually fun. I enjoyed that part of it, and then when it got to the point where that part wasn't come on.
Throw to the plate is going to be close, but not in time. As the Rays add a run and jump on top 9-1, Casey Kochman's at it again after he homered in the 6th inning. Now he drives in a run. And it is 9-1 Tampa Bay.
You don't see a pen anywhere on the floor.
No,
that seems to have lost my pen.
Here you can borrow mine, or there's others. It's 9-1. Here we go.
I'm starting
Jerry.
to feel like I'm bad luck here, guys. This is not the outcome we wanted to see when I rolled in here.
Yeah, this was going bad anyway.
Yeah, this was before you even got here.
Yeah, right.
John Jason now bats with runners at first and second. Andrew Miller facing another batter, and that's in there for strike one. Red Sox onto their 6th pitcher of the game as this one has popped up foul out of play. You're a pretty athletic guy. Is baseball in your past at all?
I played some baseball up until about 9th grade. And you can maybe imagine I could throw it pretty hard. But I didn't have much in the control department. It was wildly effective is exactly the term that I'm looking for. Guys didn't dig in real hard against me because they didn't know where the ball was going. It might be up there at their head, or it might be in the strike zone.
A little scary.
If I could get it over the plate, it was usually effective.
This is strike 3. That'll end the inning as Drew Bledsoe. Thanks very much for coming up.
Yeah, guys, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Drew.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Enjoyed it, guys. Thanks.
Let's check in with your need to know with Jack Edwards. Day Live presented by Uno's with TC, Peter, and Heidi at 6:30. They'll preview Josh Beckett's return to the rotation. Peter takes us inside Camp Tuck as Ryan Levarnway works with the Red Sox bullpen coach, plus the Boston Globe's Michael Vega with the latest news from the Red Sox clubhouse. Our live coverage begins tomorrow at 5:30 with Friday Night Fenway right here on NESN. Bottom of the 7th inning, it is 9-1 Tampa Bay on top of the Red Sox. Out hitting the Red Sox 9-3. Third pitcher of the night for the Rays is Juan Cruz. As he comes in here to pitch the bottom of the 7th inning, 53rd appearance, 5-0, 3.80 earned run average, 44 strikeouts in 45 innings, and opponents hitting at 215. Jake McGee went a third of an inning in relief of Jeremy Hellickson and retired the only batter that he faced. Find your pen.
I got my pen, and I also did not get in the picture with you and Drew Bledsoe. I didn't even attempt to get in this time because I knew I'd be cut right out.
I didn't even notice you weren't in it.
Yeah. As you pull them over to one side. Look at this.
See, now we eliminate you totally from the photo, so that you're out. This way, I don't have to cut you out. It saves time.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier this way. It's much better.
Why bother?
1-0 is in there for a strike. And it's 1-1.
I mean, it's amazing how fast that camera comes out, and you pull the celebrity to the side.
I didn't have the camera.
Well, you gave it to somebody.
Christina has a camera. Cesar Ramos is warming in the pen. As the pitcher's outside, 2-1. I'll tell you this much. Drew is big.
That's a big man.
He is big.
Yeah.
He's listed at 6'5", 238. He's playing weight. 2-1 is in there for strike 2, 2-2. This has not gone well for the Red Sox at all in game 1 of this 4-game series. Ellsbury, who bat third in this inning, is 0 for 3 in the game. His 18-game hitting streak on the line as a pitch, swing and a miss, and Saltalamacchia strikes out for the first out of the 7th inning. It's time for a game break, and Tom Caron, TC. Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Here at Fenway Park, which it has rained on again, off again all night. And it is 9-1, Tampa Bay on top. Pitch up and in to Marco Scutaro, and it is 2-0. Marco is singled to left and lined out to center. He's got one of only 3 Red Sox hits in this game. Jeremy Hellickson, the pitcher of record right now for the Rays, went 5 2/3. 3 hits, 1 run. He walked 4 and struck out 4. One of the walks was intentional. Jake McGee wrapped up the 6th inning, and now Juan Cruz pitches in the 7th. In there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Jacoby Ellsbury waiting on deck. 1 out, bases empty in the 7th. Red Sox have left 6 men on base through the first 6 innings. It's fouled off, still 2-2. While the Rays are on their 3rd pitcher of the game, the Red Sox have used 6 in the game. Still lots of baseball left here as the Red Sox bat in the 7th. Scutaro lines it to left and has a base hit. 2nd hit of the night for Scutaro. 4th base hit of the night for Boston.
Scutaro extending his hitting streak back in the 3rd inning to a 4-game streak. Picks up his 2nd hit of the night on a hanging breaking ball right there. Just a spinner that stayed up in the zone, and Scutaro with the line drive base hit.
That'll be the night for Marco Scutaro. Iglesias will run at first base for him into the game, and likely will stay in at shortstop. 1 out, 1 on. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury, 0 for 3 in the game. Ellsbury flied out to center in the 1st. He flied out to left in the 3rd. And struck out looking in the 5th inning. Takes ball 2, 2-0. Cruz came back off the DL on August the 1st with a groin strain, and since then 10 of the 14 appearances have been scoreless. His 11th major league season. .2-0 pitch. He is in there for strike 1, 2-1. Chop foul to the end of the Red Sox dugout over the top. Tune in tomorrow to Dennis and Callahan when NFL Network's Mike Lombardi joins John and Jerry. All begins at 6 a.m. across the Sports Radio Network, including 93.7 FM in Boston and right here on NESN. 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Popped up. Playable for Longoria. Fair ground puts it away. 2 down in the 7th inning. Visit the official online shop of the Red Sox at redsox.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop redsox.com shop. Two down in the seventh. Iglesias at first and Dustin Pedroia the batter. Fly out to left in the first, walked in the third, struck out in the fifth. This one fouled off. Ace ticket scoreboard. The Tigers will be out in Oakland tonight. And a chance for the Tigers to clinch a playoff spot. They've won 12 straight games. The Kansas City Royals got a 6-2 lead over the White Sox tonight in the top half of the seventh. The Tigers, they have put together quite a run to finish off the year. Things are relatively close, but win 12 straight. And all of a sudden, they got a 13.5 game lead over Chicago and Cleveland and can clinch postseason spot if they can win. And one pitch misses, 1-1. Phillies have already clinched as they are headed to the postseason. They have dominated from day one. They have 95 wins on the season. One pitch to Dustin Pedroia. He's down and in, 2-1. Breaking ball fouled off, 2-2. Adrian Gonzalez waiting on deck.
Looks like Terry Francona making more changes, as the Red Sox will be taking the field in the eighth inning.
On the ground to third base, Longoria's got it, goes to second for the force out that ends the seventh inning. We head for the eighth. It's 9-1 Tampa Bay. every day. Sign up now for convenient Boston Globe home delivery at bostonglobe.com/sports. Andrew Miller back on the mound for the Red Sox as we head to the 8th inning. Reed Brignac leads it off for the Rays in the 8th. And a swing and a miss for strike one. Changes for the Red Sox. Darnell McDonald now in center field for Jacoby Ellsbury. Jose Iglesias stays in the game at shortstop. And at third base now, Connor Jackson. One pitch missing, and it's 1-1. Mike Aviles moving from third to second base. Pedroia coming out, and Lars Anderson at the game with Adrian Gonzalez on the bench now. Ryan Lavarnway. It's Saltalamacchia, I think, still.
Yeah, still Saltalamacchia behind the plate.
Ball and 2 strikes. On the ground, softly right side, Mike Aviles. One down in the 8th. One out for Desmond Jennings. Grounded out in the first, walked in the third, popped out in the 5th, and then walked and scored in the 7th. Swinging foul tip into the catcher's mitt. It's 0-2. Ground ball down third baseline, foul. Well, the 2012 schedule, some highlights coming up for the Red Sox next year. They start the season with a 6-game trip to Detroit and Toronto, 2 West Coast trips. Interleague opponents, Washington, Miami, and Atlanta. On the road, Philadelphia, Miami, and back to Wrigley Field. Of course, it'll be the Fenway Park 100th anniversary. There's the pitches away. That came out yesterday. To see the complete schedule, check out RedSox.com for next year's schedule. Saw Miami on there. The Marlins are changing their name at their new stadium. 1-2 pitches. Missing. 2-2. So Jerry will get lost all over again in Miami next year.
It's a new location, too. It's
Yes.
where the Orange Bowl used to be.
Maybe it'll be easier to find our way back to the hotel.
I'm not so sure.
On the ground, foul. That is the most lost we have ever been, I think, anywhere. We've been lost a lot of places, but that one takes the cake.
I was driving the car, and I had absolutely no clue where we were. There were no signs for Miami. There were no signs for... If I decided saw a sign for Naples, Florida, I would have gone that way just to go someplace.
We
were totally lost.
I think it was about a 20-minute ride that we turned into an hour and 40 minutes somehow.
It was unbelievable. You're right. That's as lost as we've ever been. Usually, you take a wrong highway here and there, and you get back off, and you get back on another one. We had no clue.
No chance. No clue. The wrong direction.
Couldn't see any buildings. Couldn't see anything.
Went out on Dan Marino Way. That's the last thing we remember. Swing and a miss. As Jennings strikes out, it's the second out of the 8th. Second strikeout for Miller.
Andrew Miller going to the fastball away from Desmond Jennings to pick up the strikeout.
2 down in the 8th, and B.J. Upton coming up.
Plus, you can't really cab it there because there's no cabs after the game to get you back to your hotel. So you just got to figure out. You should get a GPS system next time.
Next time we will. Clearly, we can't handle it on our own. Been lost some other good places too, but Miami, I think, was.
That got scary. It actually got scary because I felt like we were never going to find the hotel.
And the problem is our hotel kind of looked like all the other hotels. It all looked the same, as I recall. I kept thinking we were in the right area.
But we couldn't even see hotels where we were.
That's where we started. And part of the schedule, Jerry, we get to go back to Wrigley Field, which I know you enjoyed so much.
Yeah, great. That's terrific. Last time we were there was about 9,000 degrees.
Two down here.
And that was quite a trip after the game, too.
Yes, trying to get a cab.
Yeah.
Not easy there either. Swing and a miss. B.J. Upton strikes out. It's a 1-2-3-8 for Andrew Miller. It's a 9-1 Rays lead. For the Rays, Evan Longoria hits a 3-run home run in the third inning, part of a 4-run third inning for Tampa Bay. Later on, Casey Koch with a line drive home run in the 6th inning, a 2-run shot. His 10th home run of the year ends up in the bullpen off Franklin Morales. And Hellickson started this game tonight for the Rays. 5 2/3, gave up just 3 hits and 1 run, in line for his 13th win of the year, as the Rays have really taken it to the Red Sox tonight in Game 1. Changes for the Rays. Elliott Johnson takes over at second base. Lars Anderson leading it off here in the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Rays is Cesar Ramos, who comes into the game here for the 8th. Ramos had been warming up last inning. Takes over for Juan Cruz, as Anderson is down in the count 0-2. One hopper, Johnson dives, gets up, throws out Lars Anderson. This play by Elliott Johnson just into the game, 1 down.
Just into the game, try the new guy, and the new guy's up to the challenge. Step and a dive, and he takes a base hit away from Lars Anderson.
Pinch hitter for David Ortiz, who had been on base 3 times tonight. It is Ryan Lavarnway. Pinch hits here with 1 out in the 8th. Red Sox have action in the pen. Michael Bowden, after Andrew Miller has been working for the Red Sox to this point. 1 out. Lavarnway pinch hitting, and he takes strike 1. Popped up into short left. Brignac circles and catches out number 2 of the 8th inning. Hess and Hess Express are proud sponsors of the Red Sox and the Red Sox on Nesson. During the 2011 Red Sox season, Hess and Hess Express will donate $500 to the Pediatric Trauma Program at Children's Hospital Boston for every Red Sox home run. Hess and Hess Express committed to helping the cause. 2 outs here in the 8th inning as Mike Aviles took over at third base initially for Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis had been 0 for 3 in the game. Aviles has since moved over to second base and slaps one foul. Juan Cruz pitched an inning, giving up a hit. No runs, no walks. He struck out a batter. And Cesar Ramos into the game here. There's 2 outs in the 8th. Grounded back to Ramos. He'll pick and throw. And that'll end the 8th inning. As we head to the 9th, it is 9-1 Tampa Bay. Peter and Heidi of the final word from Fenway and a preview of tomorrow's marquee pitching matchup between Josh Beckett and James Shields. Plus highlights from the Phillies doubleheader with the Marlins. So coming up after the game only on Nesson. 9-1 Tampa Bay on top of Boston. Red Sox with more defensive changes. Joey Gathright in the game in left field. Carl Crawford's night is over. And the new pitcher is Michael Bowden. His 12th appearance, no record, 5.06 earned run average. 13 strikeouts to 9 walks. Opponent sitting at 277 against Bowden. Takes over for Andrew Miller. Bowden, the 7th Red Sox pitcher of the night. Evan Longoria is 2 for 4. Hit a 3-run home run back in the 3rd. And singled in the 5th. Goes around for strike 1. Strike 3 call. Bowden makes quick work of Evan Longoria, 1 down in the 9th.
Bowden going to the breaking ball that time. The slider to pick up the strikeout against Longoria.
One down for Elliot Johnson, who took over at second base for Ben Zobrist. In a nice defensive play last inning and take strike 1. Sliced foul, 1-2. This will bounce in, and it's ball 2, evens the count of 2-2 to Elliot Johnson. Action for the Rays continues in the pen. Alexander Torres is up in the pen. Elliot Johnson coming off the bench a lot. He's 3 for 13 as a pinch hitter this year for Joe Madden. He's only started 1 game since the end of August, as this is popped up, foul ground. Chance for Connor Jackson, who makes the catch. 2 down in the 9th.
The Amica Pit Zone is brought to you by Amica Insurance. Amica Insurance is not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. We'll take a look at 3 of Hellising's strikeouts tonight. A fastball to Jacoby Ellsbury, another fastball away to Dustin Pedroia, and a fastball away to Kevin Youkilis.
Two down in the 9th. Pinch hitter coming up here for the Rays in lieu of Johnny Damon. Russ Kanzler. And he'll pop it up foul off to the right. Kanzler called up from AAA Durham on Sunday and makes his major league debut. He's never played above AA before this season. 25-year-old from Berwick, Pennsylvania. Was named International League MVP. Don't forget, coming up immediately after the game, to stay with us for WB Mason Extra Innings Live. It's all the post-game coverage you'll need right here on NESN. This one fouled back, and it is 1-2. Kanzler batting for Johnny Damon. With 2 outs here in the 9th inning. In the dirt, blocked, knocked down that time by Saltalamacchia. 2-2. Kanzler selected in the 30th round in 2004 by the Cubs. Signed with the Rays as a minor league free agent this offseason. Non-roster invitee to big league camp, and again named the International League MVP this year. 5th Durham player. Take home IL MVP honors the last 14 years. That'll bounce. 3-2. Other IL MVPs coming out of Durham. Dan Johnson, Kevin Witt, Toby Hall, Steve Cox. A 3-2 to Kanzler. And it's fouled off to the right. Ball 4, and he walks him. 2-out walk for Kanzler. They'll bring up Matt Joyce. And Michael Bowden, who's allowed runs in each of his last 5 outings since being called up on the 27th of August. Trying to get a scoreless inning of relief here. He gives a 2-out walk up to Kanzler and now deals with Matt Joyce. He's grounded out, reached on an error, and struck out twice as Joyce drives one to deep center field. Back goes Darnell McDonough. He's got plenty of room. And he'll make the catch out there shy of the track to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 9th, 9-1 Tampa Bay. Northwest Airlines, Toyota's official website for deals by Toyota.com. Cholula Hot Sauce, and by your Sullivan Tire. 9-1 Tampa Bay on top of Boston as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning back at Fenway Park. Changes for the Rays as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Dan Johnson has taken over at first base for Casey Kochman. So Dan Johnson on the right side, Elliott Johnson on the right side now for the Rays. Alexander Torres, the new pitcher for the Rays, coming into the bottom of the 9th inning. Takes over for Ramos, who had a 1-2-3 8th inning. And Torres is the 5th pitcher of the night for Tampa Bay and Joe Madden. Says Ramos had 2 groundouts and a pop out in his 1 inning of relief. A lot of the drama taken out of this one relatively early as the Rays had a 6-1 lead at the end of 6. They had 3 more in the 7th inning and have a 9-1 lead as the Red Sox come to bat in the bottom of the 9th. Josh Reddick to lead it off. Reddick has grounded out to third, flied out to right. In there for strike 1 to Reddick. This one fouled off, 1-2. Joey Gathright on deck, took over for Carl Crawford in left field. Reddick goes around, strikes out for the first out of the 9th inning. We go back to the third inning, and this would have been the last out of the third inning, and the game still would have been scoreless at this point. The bat comes at Marco. He jumps over the bat. The ball trickles through, and a run scores. The next batter would be Evan Longoria, and he hits a 3-run home run. And instead of no runs in that inning, the Rays come away with 4, but that turns out to be a very big play and a turning point in this game, no doubt. Gathright takes a pitch high for ball 1. Drew Bledsoe asked you, and I don't think you had ever seen that before.
That's the first time I've seen that that I can remember, where the ball and bat get there at the exact same time.
This is Joey Gathright's first at bat in the majors since 2009 when he was a member of the Red Sox. He's back again. And look out. Twisting out of the way of ball 3. He was added to the Major League roster on Tuesday. Pinch hit for Jacoby Ellsbury. Gathright down to first base on a 4-pitch walk with 1 out in the 9th. A reminder to stay with us for Granite City Electric Red Sox final. Complete post-game coverage coming up after the game from our Nesson studios. One out, 1 on. Jared Saltalamacchia has walked, grounded out, and struck out. That's a strike, 1-1. Nine runs, 9 hits, no errors for Tampa Bay. A run, 4 hits, and an error for the Red Sox. Swing and a miss as Saltalamacchia down 1-2. Most of the Red Sox regulars are just looking on now after being taken out of the game. Swing and a miss. Saltalamacchia is down on strikes. Torres has struck out 2 in the inning, and the Red Sox are down to their last out.
Now back-to-back changeups from Torres, doing the honors there to pick up the strikeout against Saltalamacchia.
Jose Iglesias. He pinch ran for Marco Scudero in the 7th inning. Marco had 2 of the 4 Red Sox hits on the night. Rain starting to fall here again at Fenway Park. As Iglesias takes strike 1. Iglesias fouls it off down the right field line. He's down 0-2. Iglesias flips one into right, a base hit. First major league hit for Jose Iglesias. Opposite field hit at that as Gathright takes third. He hit the baseball for Iglesias.
Inside out swing, line drive over the head of the second baseman. Pick up that first major league base hit. Nice little feeling for Iglesias.
First and third, 2 down. And it is Darnell McDonald who takes ball 1. McDonald took over defensively for Jacoby Ellsbury, who has his 18-game hitting streak come to an end tonight. Jacoby had been 0 for 4 in the game, flying out 3 times and striking out. Ground ball to short, and that'll get into left field. A run will score. Joey Gathright coming in from third base, and it's now 9-2.
Ball hit pretty hard by Darnell McDonald. The backhand play tried there by Brignac. Can't make the play. Red Sox pick up a run.
First and second, 2 down. Connor Jackson batting for the first time. And he takes strike 1. Jackson driving in his first run on Tuesday night with the Red Sox. Pinch hit against Toronto, but still looking for his first hit in the Red Sox uniform. The 0-1 is popped up. Shallow right. Out goes Elliott Johnson. It gives way to Joyce. And he makes the catch. It ends the game. The Tampa Bay Rays come into Fenway Park, and they take game 1 of this 4-game series. They do it with pitching, they do it with offense, and tonight really take it to the Red Sox in game 1.
Well, that's the scary thing, Don, is, we knew about the pitching, and they certainly held up their end of the bargain as far as that goes tonight. That has been a continuous thing against the Boston Red Sox, but the offense explodes with the home runs tonight that really put a lot of points on the board for the Tampa Bay Rays. So a very disappointing loss for the Red Sox in the first of this 4-game series.
9-2 the final score again for Jerry Remy and Heidi Watney. I'm Don Orsillo saying goodnight from Fenway Park. Join us again tomorrow night for game 2 of the series. Beckett makes his return to the rotation. Live coverage from Yawkey Way begins at 5:30 with Friday Night Fenway. This has been a presentation of Nesson, New England's most watched sports network. It's now sent it to the Nesson Television Center. Here's Tom Caron.